What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet, and I am black up in your face again with some more pro black commentary. So, it was just found out that this week the football player Travis Rudolph was found not guilty of first degree murder. For those who don't know the specifics of the case, Travis Rudolph was charged with murder after four men came to his house to attack him, and he went and got an AR-15 style rifle and shot at the men and wound up killing one of them. So, I first let me just say this: I feel good that Travis got off for this because the whole situation really was not his fault, and he pled self-defense. I'm glad that he was able to beat this case because they're basically trying to throw the book at this man. And I think that's one of the reasons that they lost the case. The prosecution is what I'm talking about, because they charged him with first degree murder as well. Yeah, first degree premeditated murder, which is not true. I don't know why they would even try that on the first count, and 3 counts of attempted first degree murder. So I guess for the fools that he didn't kill that were in the car, they charged him with each one of those knuckleheads. So, you know, how this whole situation happened was Travis Rudolph was dating this young lady named Dominique Jones, and they got into an argument at Travis's house. Some words were said. You can go online and find some of the footage that's out there. They showed it a lot of it during the trial of the front porch, camera. And basically, they were having a lover's spat, and Travis told her to kick rocks and leave. She didn't want to leave. She wanted to act ignorant. She, busted up a lot of things in his house, broke his phone, broke his PlayStation, hit him over the head with bottles and trophies and everything else. And he finally just got her out of the house and locked the door and wouldn't let her back in. And basically just, got her off of him. He never actually struck her, but trying to keep her away from him when she was using all that deadly force. So after that, she went and, being a woman scorned and being very upset, she went and called her knucklehead brother and told him specifically to go over to Travis Rudolph's house and shoot his shit up. That's exactly what she said. And she even testified to that in court. And the brother got his 3 knucklehead friends to go with him, and they went to confront Travis Rudolph and also his brother. I think his brother's name was Daryl. And, there's altercation, fights out on the front lawn. And Travis went inside the house and got his rifle. And that goes back to the beginning of what I told you and how he shot at them as they were getting back into the car and driving away. So, I forgot to mention, one of the knuckleheads that showed up, he did have a weapon. He had a gun. Okay, and they tried to throw the gun away before they called for paramedics when one of the knuckleheads got shot. Okay, they tried to get rid of the weapon, and they tried to make it seem as if Travis Rudolph was the aggressor. But Travis was arrested, and it's kind of messed up his NFL career. And he was on trial, or going back and forth with the trial for 2 years now. But finally, he has been acquitted of the charges and found not guilty. And I'm very thankful for that. So that's the basic story and the overall of what happened. And I've talked about this before. I've talked about these types of situations where you have, either a loudmouth female or a female who's just very emotional and quick-tempered, and how she'll have a situation that she gets into and then she calls in a Pookie airstrike. And that's exactly what Dominique Jones did in this situation. She was mad at her boyfriend for rejecting her, so she called in her brother and his friends, and they were the Pookie airstrike to come in and cause chaos. And when a woman does stuff like that, and she lied to her brother, by the way, by saying, Travis picked me up and slammed me down. Basically made it seem like he picked her up and body slammed her like Kane or the Undertaker or something like that out in the front lawn, which did not happen. Once again, it's on film, so you can see what happened. He was basically, the only thing he was really doing was trying to keep her away from him and keep her from attacking him. But she lied and said that she got beat up by Travis. So her brother got, hot tempered. He got emotional himself. Called his friends, and they were all on the text, the group chat, talking about Travis Rudolph is a dead man walking and all this other nonsense. And they went up there to start trouble and be the emotional males that they knew how to be. And once again, I talked about this deadly combination of, I call it like the loudmouth Linda and, the Pookie Rangers. She put up the Power Ranger symbol, and those Negroes came a running. And they joined up together to go fight the evil, mean old boyfriend. In these types of cases, I do feel that men, especially young men, if your mama, your sister, your cousin, whoever gets into trouble, you need to sit back and examine what happened first, especially if it's like some sort of domestic violence situation where it could be a he said, she said type thing. You see what I'm saying? I can understand if your sister was in the hospital and she was beat up real badly or whatever, like you see in movies or whatever, like her neck was broken or something bad like that. But if she's just calling you out of the blue and talking about go shoot up somebody's house, you might want to reconsider that, okay? Because that can lead to a lot of trouble, and that's exactly what happened in this case. And in this case, it led to someone dying. You see, technically, it was not her brother, but one of his friends got shot and died. And that young man, I'm trying not to tear him down because I'm sure he has family members out there listening, but he should have had second thoughts. Because if someone told me or one of my friends told me that his sister got into an argument with her boyfriend and I'm going over to that dude's house to go fight him or shoot him or whatever, I'm not I'm not riding along for that. Okay, I need to get some more specifics first. I want to ask, is your sister okay? Is she in the hospital? We need to talk this out and figure out all the facts first before we roll over there and try to cause a violent situation. You see, and people have to be careful, especially two men. When two men collide like that, or two men are angry like that, the chances of someone dying goes up exponentially. Okay, and that type of rage and that type of aura of wanting to be the protector for your sister or your family, your girlfriend or whoever, that runs high with men. Okay, so you have to be careful in these types of situations, and don't let yourself get sent off by certain women. Just make sure you know all the facts first. You see, before you go off and get into an altercation like this that can cause someone to lose their life. Now, what if they were successful? What if they went over there and shot up Travis Rudolph's house and killed either him, his brother, or his mom, because his mom lived there too? What if they had done that? You see, or just some innocent bystander in that neighborhood got shot up? Then what would happen? Then these idiots would be in prison, and then where would Dominique be then? Dominique would just sit back and just be like, well, hey, because she said that on the stand. She's like, hey, I didn't tell them to go shoot him. Just go shoot his shit up. You see, it's like the person who sets you off to do these things, they can send you to do this, and then they can just sit back and not have to face any real consequences. You're the one facing all the real consequences, right? And I told you this in that video I did, and I'll post a link to it so you can go rewatch it if you missed it. But those the loud, mean mouth, hot tempered females and these emotional males are a deadly combination. Lots of deaths have happened over this. Lots of men have gone to prison over this. Okay? There are ways to deal with situations where violence is not the first reaction. you should go with, especially when you don't have all the facts. Because her brother looked dumb as hell. He was on the witness stand, and the defense was asking him. He's like, "Hey, did your sister tell you that she busted Travis upside his head with a bottle before she sent you over there?" He's like, "No." Did she tell you that she had threatened his sister and his mama at the house, called them up and threatened to kill them too? Did she tell you that? He's like, no. So he's just sitting there looking dumb as hell, and he should feel responsible for the death of his friend, that he got his friend involved in that type of nonsense, because that didn't have to happen. That young man didn't have to lose his life, but then also he was dumb for even getting involved in that. I'm not riding with you to go beat up some stranger or shoot up some stranger's house, okay? If I don't know all the facts. Now, if I know what's going on and, maybe someone's life is in danger, then maybe I'll go for that. But if I don't know all the facts, I'm not going to just ride with you like that. Then people might say you're not a true friend, or you're not a real rider. I have logic. I need to know what's going on first before I go out there and attack. I like to think and strategize before I do something like that. Okay, I'm not saying that violence is never an option. Sometimes it is, but we have to be smarter than that. We have to use our minds. The deadliest thing that we do have as men is our minds. Before we go off to war, you strategize, right? Any person or any country or any nation that goes to war, before they even go, they have a war council and they strategize first. They talk it out first. That's how you win a war. You don't just run off half-cocked and go in there and just try to kill everything moving, because you don't know what's going on. You don't know what the enemy has. Obviously, they didn't know Travis Rudolph was strapped, and Travis Rudolph had his concealed carry license. He was a person who practiced with his gun, you see. So they didn't know that, but they went off half-cocked anyway to go try to assault him. So, sad story for the person who passed away, but I'm glad Travis Rudolph got off. And, his brother Daryl, I watched him on Law and Crime this morning. I was laughing because he did a little rap song. I might post a link to that too. You folks can go watch it and laugh at that yourself. Now, I'm laughing at his song, but what he said in the song was correct. And also, I appreciate that Daryl Rudolph is a person who is an advocate for those who have been wrongfully accused and locked in prison because they could not afford any type of real legal representation. He talked about that a lot on the news program on Law and Crime. So I'll post a link to that, and you folks can watch that interview as well. Anyway, this is Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot in a devil's back.